Hey Theater Inspires! Welcome to Make It Sparkle, a series to get ideas and inspiration for your theater and dance shows. This video is about the show Puffs, and it features Joel Smith. Joel has taught theater for over 25 years, and he's in his 11th year at Poudre High School in Fort Collins, Colorado. He's directed shows like The Laramie Project, Midsummer Night's Dream, and James and the Giant Peach. Joel is a kind, insightful director, and a gifted theater designer as well. Hope you enjoy this and get some fresh ideas.
My first thing talking to a new teacher about the show is start early. Figure out what your budget is going to be, because not only are there a lot of props, there are a lot of really specific props. We played around with some things that I haven't really worked with before, like 3D printing. We have a media center that's got a bunch of 3D printers in it, and I went to the guy in there and said, hey, can we try all of this stuff? Some of it worked. Like, we were able to 3D print some wands pretty easily and without spending days for each one. But then we wanted wands that lit up and flashed and did stuff. And we found early on, like, trying to get wiring small enough to kind of wrap around these, it just didn't work. So we went and bought wands that light up and flash and do what we wanted them to do. We 3D printed some really cool articulating slugs, but each one took like 4 hours to print, and used up a lot of the print filament. So then we thought, well, these are really cool, but for a joke in the script that takes 3 seconds, it's not worth it. So being able to try things and figure out what works and what doesn't with some of those really specific show props was really useful. The other thing that was really good, we saw a production at our state festival, and they did the one-act version and brought, because they do it in banquet halls and classrooms. Most of our state festivals around the country, you don't have any time to set up a one act. You just throw it together and do it. But they came up with some really creative solutions for some of the props in the show, of things that they could get easily, didn't have to spend a lot of money on, didn't have to set up and strike at the end. So I think one of the ideas we borrowed from them, they had little yellow Puffs banners that they handed out to the audience, and everybody had these little plastic flags. And I think they're supposed to be like driveway flags that you mark your yard and your sprinkler heads with, but they were perfect. So being able to see other productions of the show is really invaluable. Having that Facebook group was invaluable. But I think the biggest thing for the props on the show, start early. Really, for Puffs, get creative with what things look like. Because it's a magical world, it doesn't have to look like something real. It doesn't have to look like something one specific way. It doesn't have to look like things from the wizarding movies. So you can try things and you can fail with things. And then the last thing I'll say about props is buy in bulk, because you're gonna lose stuff, they're gonna break stuff, you're gonna need replacements. We realized about 4 days before we opened that someone had walked off with a wand. And fortunately, we had 3 extra wands. I just bought an extra pack of wands, but it's stuff like that when you've got tons of props and they're moving so fast and so quickly, you want backups, you want spares. We actually set the show up differently than we've ever done a show. Each cast member had 2 tables backstage that were just theirs. There was a costume table and a prop table for that character, that actor specifically. And usually you've got the one big prop table, but each person had their own prop table. for the show, because we knew if we start, somebody runs off stage and puts something down on a prop table, it's gone. So it was a different setup.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you've done the show Puffs on Stage and have ideas or tips to help other directors make their show a success, please be sure to include it in the comments below.